We're here with Vfresh.
Hey, what's good?
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Goose. Thanks for being here, man. Putting me on, dude. I'm stoked.
Yo, I'm here in your lab. This looks amazing.
Thanks, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Prepare for takeoff.
You're now listening to Stebner Show.
I wanted to get you on the mic because I felt this gravitational pull to your energy, to your zen. And plus, you have a lot to do. And the podcast that I do is to help others listen to how we balance life using creativity.
Amazing.
And you are the epitome of a creative person.
Wow. Thanks. Thanks, dude. Appreciate that, man.
Thanks for having us.
We got Lola in the building.
Lola's in the building. I felt that you would be a great person to speak to.
That's awesome.
And thank you for having us here.
Oh.
And let's jump into it, man. So what am I sitting in front of? Like, this is a whole...
Yo, dude.
This is a whole rig with, like...
So right here, I've just recently moved my studio into the Latin Lady Ranch right here. Fresh beat flavor. This space right here. This is where I do, like, one-on-one teaching sessions. Like, where you're sitting is where I usually have, like, a student playing follow the leader with me, or I'm teaching them scratch techniques, how to DJ. I do that one-on-one here. I do that also online. I'm also a college music professor. I teach at the Musicians Institute. I used to teach at the Scratch DJ Academy for many years, where I was teaching. It was pretty amazing. So yeah, man, I've been developing like DJs for the last like 15 years and being a mentor for musicians, composers, remixers. And yeah, dude, I'm out here, man. So this is the lab right here, dude.
Oh my God, thank you so much, man. So you have these like multiple lives that you do. You're known as Vfresh, but introduce yourself, man, for people who don't know you formally.
Yo, man, my name is Vfresh, Los Angeles native. I've been DJing for 24 years. I've been doing music for most of my life since I was like 10, dude. So I'm pushing 40, man. So I'm out here doing the thing, dude.
All right, so tell us, what are you working on right now?
Dude, right now I'm working on a ton of stuff. Like, in addition to like mentoring people, right now, like this month, the month of, what are we in, May right now, right?
We're in May.
It's May, dude. So I've had the opportunity to get to program the silent disco at Next Fest LA, where I've had the opportunity to get to book some of my most favorite DJs of LA, some of my big homies, big sisters, little bros, little sisters, all the homies out here, repayment of kindness, So it's been really cool to get to put people on and give back to all these people that have been taking care of me for all these years, man. So it's been really cool working with Los Lidos, LA legend, LA Bellatini, that Next Fest LA at the LA Fair. That's been one of the big things.
And that's happening right now all month.
It's happening right now all month. We're in week 3 that's coming up tomorrow. It starts tomorrow.
So wait, what exactly is a silent disco for people who don't know what that is?
Yeah, if people don't know, dude, like it's so much fun because people see all these people dancing, man. They see all these people dancing and singing along to these songs with no speakers. So you see like 100 people out there on this field.
Are they just dancing? Like,
they're just dancing. You hear people singing at the top of their lungs. If you check out my Instagram post.
Oh wait, but they're wearing headphones.
They're wearing headphones.
Oh, so they're just not. So they're wearing headphones and they listen to the music through the headphones.
Exactly. And then what's super
like
dope?
This?
All of that, dude. Yeah, man. But what's super dope is there's 2 DJs playing simultaneously.
What?
So like you could be dancing with your partner, you know what I mean?
Wait, so does everybody have the same feed?
There's 2 different feeds. So you could switch.
What?
There's actually 3 channels on the thing, but right now we're only rocking 2 DJs. Someone could be listening to like cumbia and your partner is dancing to like funk boogie, and they could be dancing at different places, singing at the top of their lungs. So it's really fun. It's really silly. It's been really fun just to watch all these incredible DJs experiences too, because it's novel for them also.
And how do people get tickets to this?
Yo, dude, so how you could get tickets, one, you could even just pull up to the LA Fair and just buy a ticket, and there's all these amazing DJs, bands, acts, all these people just hanging out, performing all over the the LA Fairgrounds. You could also follow myself, Vfresh Music, or Fresh Beat Flavor on Instagram. Follow at NextFest. Also follow LA Bellatini, and they'll send you free tickets, dude.
Yeah, and that's how I met you, through LA Bellatini.
It's true. This is true. The
legend. Godmother to us all.
The legend, you know.
La madrina.
Yeah, she's out here doing the thing. She's in these streets, you know.
Hey. And how did you get started in DJing and music? You say you're a professor, you're a DJ. Like, how were you introduced to music in your life?
You know, so actually first it was more like creativity. Like growing up, I didn't really have access to like instruments and things like that. And like my earliest memory of being creative with music, there's something on like Sesame Street, dude. Like with it was funny. I don't know if it was Sesame Street or it was on PBS. Sesame Street was rocking on PBS. You know what I'm saying? And they had like this eggshell, like you know the egg cartons, and you'd make like a guitar with like rubber bands. I don't know if you remember this.
No,
dude.
I did not know that.
Like, I kind of want to look it up and kind of do it again, but that was like the first time I ever like was like I remember being creative with which is creativity, and also from like limited means, like whatever you had, like how you can make something out of what was just around.
Right.
You know, that's actually been like my philosophy for many years, even with all this equipment that I have and things like that. I have to exhaust my equipment. Like, I'm not allowed to buy anything else unless I've like fully mastered it. And that's also one of my philosophies that I pass on to all my students and people who, take lessons with me, or people I've mentored throughout the years, you know what I mean? So, yeah, creativity before even music, just being creative with
just
what I have
being
around,
curious, right?
Just being curious, man.
And how did you make that leap from curiosity as a child to musical experiences?
Man, like, and then like in elementary school, we had like the recorder at school and things like that, and like singing, everyone sang in like that chorus and stuff. And my teachers actually helped me discover that I had some musical aptitude, so, and they would tell my parents, hey man, your son's got the thing, you know what I mean? Like, put him in these programs. And it slowly started happening as I got older, like, being a child of immigrants, like they, like we're out here trying to make the life happen, so like all of those things, they didn't really think about, but my parents really did their best to like keep me involved in creative things.
And where's your family hail from? Like, let's talk about that.
Parents from India. They came to the United States. My dad was here like when he was like 24 or something like that. He came out here when he was 24. And then he went back to India, married my mom, and then came back here. And, my sister was born. A few years later, your boy's out here, man. Vfresh, man.
And you're a LA native?
I'm an LA native, man. Sunset Boulevard, Kaiser Permanente. What's good?
Yo, that's right down the street from my house, dude.
Oh, word?
You were born in Los Feliz.
That's what's up, dude,
Damn, that's amazing, man.
Out here.
So you go from being a curious child to being introduced to music by your teachers. And how do you rev up from that to being a DJ?
My cousin Chet, dude, like I really looked up to him. He was really amazing at creativity and writing scripts. This dude would write songs like when we were little. But he started playing trumpet when he was in 9th grade. And so like when I was going to 6th grade, he's a couple years older than me. I was like, yo man, you know what, dude? Let me play the trumpet. And in 6th grade, I started playing the trumpet, and that's what gave me access to like learning how to read music and things like that. And like during that time, like, I got pretty good at the trumpet, man, like in 6th grade. And even that teacher, Miss Perryman at Jordan Middle School, also like, told my mom, like, yo, dude, your kid's got the juice, man. Like, you got to put him in something. But even at this time, man, like, my mom and my parents, they really didn't understand like what I really had, like, cause like I'm saying, like people coming from a different country, like we're trying to figure out all these other things to like just hold it down out here,
Right.
what I mean?
I've heard there's certain pressures, cultural pressures, especially in Indian culture, that you have to fit certain vocational tracks.
Yeah, dude. You know, I got really, really lucky, man, that my parents, like, once, you know, like, all these teachers and, like, I would get, like, scholarships to get to do all the music programs, man. Like, I
that's
got really
amazing.
lucky, man. I got really lucky that,
Like scholarships for you as a student.
as a student, you know, like, because after trumpet, the next year I went to another elementary school and I started singing, actually, man. I became a
What?
singer. And so,
Vfresh got pipes.
dude, you know what I mean? Like, I'm out here, dude. Like, hopefully I'll start breaking that stuff out. I've been kind of keeping that on the back burner for a couple of years. So, hopefully some of those things will start coming out of me, you know, like as you guys watch me grow and as you guys follow me, you know, I'm out here.
Life as a student doing music and singing.
Yeah. So, you know, just getting lucked out by like the schools, like seeing like my gift and you know, they helped me, you know, have my clothes, go on the trips and things like that and be part of the music program, you know. So I feel like I've always been like really supported by accolade, you know, like to keep me busy with music. And so yeah, man, I feel really blessed about that stuff, dude.
And when you're growing up as a student, and what are some of the events that happened for you that you started to turn over to turntables and DJing?
Dude, so really though, man, it's skateboarding. Skateboarding got me into hip hop. And when I was like in 7th grade, I started skateboarding. I was really into sports and stuff too, like in addition to like being involved with music. But when I transferred to another junior high, I really wasn't getting picked for all these like athletic things. So I was like, man, what's going on here, dude? I saw these kids skateboarding and I was like, man, these fools look tight, dude. Like they look happy and they're like all creative looking and wearing all the cool clothes, you know what I'm saying? Like all the shoes, stickers, just the vibe, you know? And so like skateboarding really got me into DJ culture, you know, that. And actually, even one of my earliest memories when I was like a little kid, I used to hear freestyle on my street, like Power 106 DJs and like the Aquanet fools, like those dudes, they would come and play on my block, man, like at some house parties and stuff. So that was like the first time I ever saw a DJ. But I always had that in the back of my mind, man, but like I really didn't like make the move yet, you know? And you know, it's an expensive thing to start doing, like a hobby or a profession, you know, to even have access to this stuff, man.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I actually was influenced by skate culture as well, but on the video side. And it's one of the things that makes California stand out because this is where a lot of that culture started.
Word.
Right? And then tell us, like, what was your main jump into when you were finally like, hey, I'm going to DJ. Like, I'm not a student anymore.
Word.
I'm not a skater. I'm going to do this.
So check it, man. Also, just like you, dude, I used to make skateboard videos, man. So, you know, like I had my high-8 camera, start and stop, making the videos, like the edits, like to the VCR, you know, it's just going back and forth that way,
yes.
man. So, and, you know, like that's when like the editing part came into play, right? Because like DJ is sound editing and sound design and chopping up stuff, right? I'm chopping up sound, right? So just like that was like the technology gateway, you know what I mean? It was definitely like video stuff. And then like the music, man, like in all the skateboard videos, dude, like Welcome to Hell, Mouse. Like Mouse was like that's that girl chocolate, you know what I mean? Like that was like my funk lesson, man. Like I learned about like Earth, Wind and Fire. Man, I can't even. There's so many funk bands in there. Welcome to Hell is how I learned about like classic rock. Like it was access to songs, man, and records. Pink Floyd is how I discovered from Welcome to Hell, man. You know, so skate culture has always been a big deal for me. And then like the competitive part of skate culture, is how I got into battle, like DJ battle game, man.
Ooh. Like, before we get into that, I want to know about, like, your first performance as a DJ.
Okay, so check it out. So this is how it goes down, man. So, let's say,
like I definitely, like, take me to the time when you were like, you know what? I have some turntables. I have a few records in this crate. Like, I'm going to show up for myself and perform for the first time in public. What was that like?
This is how it went down. Even for me to even get these are actually my turntables that I've had the whole time. these turntables right here.
For the quarter century that you've
For
been
the
DJing?
quarter century, I've had these. Look at how nice they look. I've kept them up to like, these are my babies. I love them so much. Dude, I bust tables, man. I bought tables and never looked back, man. 16 to 17 years old, I bust tables. And I bought these turntables, man. And my first DJ set, I probably had like, I don't know, like 15 records, dude. I barely had anything. I was just getting my feet wet. I think I had my turntables for like 2 weeks, dude. And I played one of my friends. I played his 17th birthday party. And his dad actually, Rex Olson, I'm going to give a shout out to you, man. That's one of my original teachers for Signal Flow. I appreciate this dude very much. So if you check this out, dude, I'm going to show you love forever, man. Dude, he taught me how to plug in all this equipment, dude. He taught me how Signal Flow. He taught me about speakers, inputs and outputs.
What is Signal Flow?
So Signal Flow, all y'all who take my classes, y'all know I talk about this forever. Signal flows where a sound or a source, it starts from and where it goes to. So it's like traveling, just like a water, right? Like say that you have like a giant water tank. That's the original source, but it has to go somewhere, right? So that's where you have all these different pipes and things to go to this person's house and that person's house. And signal flow, like I live by signal flow. This is like a philosophy for my life.
So it's sort of the background, like your background behind you, like all this energy just moving.
Just energy, right? But like signal flow, like even my voice, I'm the signal. Mm-hmm. It's going into this microphone. It's traveling through this wire, which is going into your interface. You know what I mean? And so why signal flow is even important is just because you have to be able to catch interruption. Like the whole thing is all about flow. And just like us, like walking through planet life, right? We're flowing through things and there's going to be interruption. And how do we get to troubleshoot this interruption? You know, how do I get to repair in the moment? You know, so signal flow is a big deal for me. Like it's one of my life philosophies for sure. Even though it's dealing with sound, it's dealing with water, with air, energy, you know, how to get it from here to there.
So as you're stepping up into your first set and you're like learning about signal flow, and what was that first set for you like?
Dude, at this time, man, I thought DJ was some easy shit, bro. I thought it was song up, song down. I got this, you know? That's what I thought it was. And yeah, man, that was what my first party was. I was just playing songs, dude, just playing them out of the speakers until I heard Mr. Chalk, man. I heard Mr. Chalk on the lunch break on Power 106.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yo, dude, these are two songs going on at the same time that I know. What is going on right here, man? Like, what is this, dude? That shit blew my mind, man. And so then I just started like researching, man. Like I started getting into, there's this thing called DMC. And this is like the world like battle championships, like global renowned like DJs, scratch DJs, records and stuff. And I became really fascinated with that, man. And I got this like team video. It was like this team video in 2000, the year 2000. And I saw these incredible world-class DJs playing with each other. There was like 2 DJs or 4 DJs mixing records and creating compositions with scratching and chopping up samples, looping and all these things. And after that, man, I just started training, transcribing. This is before the internet, man, and before like people were teaching. So you had to teach yourself these things, and like having access to dope people that was like really slim, man. You know, it didn't really exist. So it was a lot of transcribing, like watching, emulating, and figuring things out, trial and error. And then I just started battling, man. I showed up for Guitar Center battles. I met the legendary P-Trix at my first DJ battle. He gave me a lot of love, and he was like, yo, V, I can't wait to see what you do with music. I was like, this guy's like one of the sickest scratch DJs on planet Earth, man.
And what makes this art form so special? Unlike DJs that are on the radio, I feel like when someone goes to a party and they see a DJ, like there's more happening with the DJ than meets the eye.
Dude. So one, there's many layers to DJ. There's so many types of DJ. There's one type of DJ that we could call the selecta. That's someone who's very gifted at digging for tracks. Like they got the bomb tracks, you know, they got hot fire. Like someone that I consider being a selector is like Giles Peterson or like Garth Trinidad. Like growing up listening to like Chocolate City, like that dude, man, I would record his whatever he was playing like on cassette tape so I could listen to it all day the next day because he had the bomb tracks. So Selecta is someone who has an abundance of just songs, like heat, like tracks, you know? Not necessarily do they even have to be able to have like technical facility or beat matching or that skill set. But there's another type of DJ that's called the mixer. That's what I call the mixer. They could technically beat match songs, you know? Oh, like at a workout or something like that. They could keep everyone on point and it's mixing, you know? But not necessarily do they got hot fire, you know? That's like one element. But they have the technical facility to fulfill the head nod, you know? Like everyone could stay in a groove for 4 hours. The next type of DJ is the turntablist. This is where like the virtuosity and complexities of dexterity and hand control, with controlling and catching sound, where you're seeing people chop up and do beat matching and beat juggles, scratching, and all this technical facility. That's the turntablist. That's that part. And all of those three together, I feel make the DJ of what what I consider where we're going now. You got to be a selector. You got to have hot tracks. You got to be able to mix, and then also have technical facility to have an amazing fireworks show. You know, DJing is a fireworks show, man.
That's a great way to put it. I never heard that before.
You know, so, yeah, man.
I spent some time with a lot of DJs, probably some that you know, but the one thing that I came away from that experience is that real DJs don't take requests.
You know, I think,
or is that depending on the gig?
I think it depends on the gig, and then also, like, you know, how I look at DJing. I mean, like, yo, dude, like, I've gone through so many different types of experiences, like where you're this DJ, you know what I mean? Like, or like where you just only play your own shit. But you know, it does depend on the gig, and then also, you know, like this is a collaborative thing, man. Like DJ, for me, like it's an exchange of energy, right? Like, if the people if I walk into that room, if they feel good and I feel good, like this shit's gonna be a dope ass party, man. When it comes to like request stuff, you know, sometimes to be honest, man, they could help me shift the lane, dude. You know, like, cause they could be like, yo, dude, like if something that I'm doing, if I could catch them, you know, like only if that request really works though, dude.
Right.
Like if it's some like clown shit, like that I'm like, I'm not going to play, that's bathroom break for me. I'll play it. They could drop me a C note and I'll go to the bathroom real quick.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? But it all depends, dude. Like if it's a tasteful request and if it's working with what's going on and if it's going to help what's going on, I'm down. But if it's something that's like, it doesn't make sense, you know, like if we're doing like a Michael Jackson versus Prince and you ask for Miley Cyrus, man, come on, dude.
Oh yeah, that's not.
And that actually happened. True story.
What?
You know, I'm not a hater on the request, but like some days, like sometimes, like, you know, like I'm just in my own zone, and like especially with vinyl, you can't take requests. Like, what am I gonna do, dude?
Oh yeah.
I only brought what I have.
You mentioned vinyl. I have this whole vinyl collection behind me. Tell me about what it took for you to collect all this vinyl.
Records are so special. Did you know that if there was an atomic bomb or some radiation that went out right now, dude, did you know that all of our CDs, our computer, and all these digital things with zeros and ones will get wiped out? They'll disappear. They won't withstand time and live. But this vinyl, this is a tactile thing, just like a bicycle. Like we all saw those like things. Remember the atomic bombs when we all watched that?
Right.
When we're little kids, like when we're learning about the world wars and all that stuff, right?
So you're saying that when Skynet launches and all the Terminators come, that the
vinyl and the cockroaches survive.
What? That's amazing. How is that possible?
So it's crazy because it's a physical thing, you know, like from radiation. I'm saying, you know, like not from like fire. Like this shit will disappear and melt away, right? But like if something will wipe digital stuff away, like all this stuff on the computer, it's gone, dude. And then what's also super special is that there's a consensus, and it might have changed, but like only like 30% of music that exists on planet Earth has been digitized. So like there's a lot of records. That's why there's stuff that you can't Shazam.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's unshazammable because like vinyl is very special. There's so many gems that you'll never ever get on any of the other mediums, man.
Yeah, I was thinking about the last time that I was in love with a woman. She asked me what I wanted to do tonight. I had no answer, but I showed up with a record player and like 5 records. And I said, let's just chill at your house and listen to records. But I brought this whole record player and all these records, and it actually was one of the most memorable times I ever had with that person. So I agree.
Amazing,
records
dude.
are special.
Records are special. Like with the records, like I got kind of like very specific on like I wanted to only have original records, and it was like a hardcore thing, like with DJ culture and just collecting vinyl. And for me, like there's this term that I'm sure all DJs hear now that's it's called open format. That means that's a DJ that plays all sorts of type of music, not just specified to one. And like for me, do you remember like what's her name, dude? Pippi Longstocking. Okay, so like Pippi Longstocking, like I really relate to Pippi Longstocking, okay? Cuz like, this chick, dude, she wore like different color socks. Like it was like, just making something out of anything, And that's how it's always been for me with records, cuz like I would have random tracks of random things that don't make sense, like to be in a collection, And that's like even how my DJ style even started. Even in my battle routines, it would be like that. But collecting records is going back to that, like, it started off like small. Like my friends would give me records. When like people that really loved me and cared about me that had like tons of records, my friends' parents, my neighbors, they'll be like, yo, V-Nay, that's my real name, y'all know. Vfresh. They're all like, yo, dude. They're like, hey, man, we got some records. Would you like to come over and pick them up? And so, like, they gave me access to all these classic rock records. I got all these funk records, disco records, collecting records, man.
Collecting records.
Yeah, dude. So I got tons of records from, like, family, friends.
That's right. People that really love you, they bring you records.
They're like, yo, dude, come pick these up, man. We don't do anything with them. Vfresh will use them, man, So that was, like, one of, like, some of my collection that I got. Also, dude, like, also attended Valley Community College doing music over there too. And some of the professors, they were giving away records.
What?
And they pulled me out of class too, man. They're all like, yo, there's gonna be someone picking up all these records. I wanted to let you know so you could have as many of these that you want, dude. Take as many. It's like all tons of like these classical records. And because in addition to DJ, guys, like I'm actually a classical composer. Like I write orchestra music and I conduct orchestra and stuff. I've DJ'd with orchestras.
So you're a DJ, a musician, a singer,
producer,
composer. And how
mentor.
is that different a little bit than DJing?
Like for me, like all of this stuff runs parallel together because I'm working with sound. That's all it is to me. I'm working with sound and I get to be creative. So like when people are like, oh man, are you spreading yourself thin? I'm like, nah. These things are all parallel together. Like even DJ, man, like DJ has given me access to perform with and being a composer. Like I've had the opportunity just because I'm both. Like I've had the opportunity to write for the Pacific Symphony Orchestra, like an ensemble, and DJ with them. I did that like for like a few years. Like being like a classically trained musician, I got to work with Philip Bailey of Earth, Wind and Fire, and arrange beat juggle with a big band. So like there's like a big band conductor, and I created a beat juggle that went along with a horn section. And then playing with like musicians, like I've DJed for Wyclef, and the drummer, one of my professors from Berklee College of Music, Terry Lynn Carrington, legendary drummer. I got to scratch and play with her and with bands. So I feel like I have both of my feet in two oceans, on the DJ side and then on the musician composer world, you know.
Do you do movies too?
You know what, dude? I do, man. Actually, one of the composers, if y'all haven't seen Freeway Rick Ross Cracking the System on
damn.
Netflix, it's a documentary. If you look that up, you watch that. If y'all have seen it, y'all can see Vfresh is one of the composers on those credits there. So you can hear some of my joints on there.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Shout out to the big bro, Paul Stewart. I see you.
And you're also a teacher.
I am, yeah, man.
Tell me a little bit about that. Like, tell me about why did you decide to also teach?
So, like with teaching, you know, like after graduating from the Berklee College of Music,
is that where you went to school in
that's
Boston?
Where I went to school, man.
In Boston?
Dude, I went to school in Boston.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
I've worked with two composers on two different movies that graduated from that school.
It's incredible.
It could be a third.
Hey. Dude, I'm down, dude. Let's go.
I have a movie. I need music.
There it is.
Hey.
You know? Yeah, man. Like going over there. I forgot what the question you just asked.
Why did you decide to teach?
Yo, dude. Okay, so one, even while I've been DJing, even before I went to school over there, like I don't know, like I think like I have like something to be able to break this thing down so easily that I could translate it to people, you know. I think that's like something that just explaining that stuff, something that I don't know, I have a knack for or whatever, or I've even been told that I've had a knack for from some of my heroes and like my own mentors, you know. And so like when I graduated from college, it was in 2010. Yeah, man, it took me a long time to graduate college. All y'all fools, y'all no, dude. You know, I'm a turtle, guys. You know,
But turtles finished the race, though.
There we go. I'm still going. I'm still moving, guys. But you know, this is like during that recession, right? Like things were really slow,
bubble popping
man.
and everything.
Things were slow, and you know, I'm really lucky that like I graduated school like on the ending of that, like, you know. And then I mean, we dealt with like two of them already, dude, in our lifetime. I mean, even whatever's going on right now, man, this shit's weird.
Yeah, it is. But everybody that I know that has graduated from Berklee School of Music is working and pursuing an artistic musical career.
I feel the most, you know, some people I feel like probably got burnt out, and it's a tough business, you know. Like in addition to being talented at your music, we have to have like really thick skin and not give up and be persistent, be out there, meet people, take risk, you know.
Yeah, and you have all this knowledge and experience. Why did you decide to also pass it down to other students?
So one, I have had this mentor. His name is Premier Grandmaster Don Barrett. When I was growing up, he's a kung fu master, and he was also a music prodigy, and he taught me how to learn. And he always talked about legacy and repayment of kindness. And those are like philosophies that I live by, because this DJ culture has saved my life, has changed my life, has given me so many opportunities to meet so many different types of people, get to perform and like it's just opened such a key for me, you know. So giving this back, man, like, one, did you know that Mozart's father, Leopold Mozart, was the #1 music teacher on planet Earth in his time? And when I learned even about that, but like even addition to like legacy and like passing on knowledge and like, you know, lineage. It's all about like lineage.
Right. I also heard that Wolfgang had a sister.
Wolfgang's sister. Yeah, man. Narnell, right? Narnell Mozart, right? I believe that's
Shout
her
out to the Mozart
You
family.
know what I mean? The Mozart family, you know. So like learning about like that and like music history and stuff, like yo, dude, like Leopold Mozart, that's the goat, man. That's the guy. Like I feel like yo, dude, like he collected all this bomb knowledge and then like yo, dude, your kid just got to play with it and be the beast. Like no, I'm not knocking on Mozart or anything, you know what I mean? But like, dude, his dad, come on, man. Like people don't know those things, right? Like that all that hard work and then of collecting all this knowledge and then now it's in a playroom, right? And then, you know, you get to work out and do all of that stuff and create, right? Like it's a safe environment, right? Like so like stuff like that, man.
And how does it feel for you when you're working with a student and they start to acquire the knowledge that you are passing on?
One, I think it's awesome because it gives people hope, right? Like, and I've seen so many shifts in so many people that I've helped mentor throughout even this last decade, man. Like people that I've taught, some of them are surprisingly like are playing and performing at this Next Fest, dude. Like that I didn't even know that we booked, dude. And I saw them and like, you know what I mean? They're all like, oh my gosh, Vfresh, man, my first teacher, dude. Look, I can't believe I'm out here. So that's like really rewarding and like, you know, like it definitely makes me feel warm inside, you know what I mean? Like it's pretty dope. Just passing something on like lineage. The other thing for me, dude, the faster I get to give this out and give this knowledge away, the faster the next thing that I desire comes to me. You know? So like I'm not really trying to hoard any of this shit. You know? Like the faster I could give something that I could break apart away, like the sharper my blade is, because my understanding for it gets so much more refined, you know? So that's another part. That's like, I guess it's kind of selfish a little bit, I guess, but like I'm giving someone so many gifts that like I'm so grateful. Like I've seen so many people have all these careers, man. Like I've helped people have their career, you know, like being a part of that, like that legacy, you know. I think that's pretty dope, dude. I'm really happy about it.
I love this art form. I have a lot of friends that are really into it. And I feel like, I don't know why I haven't met you until this year, but it feels like the way that I met you was legendary, that it actually was meant to be this way.
That's awesome. Thanks, Goose.
A quick little rapid fire. Going to the moon, what 3 records would you take?
Yo, I'll take Dark Side of the Moon. That'll go. Visions by Stevie Wonder. What would be a third one, dude? It would probably be one of my pressings, man. I'll probably have to take one of my records, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You never know. You might be playing in space, so people gotta hear you, you know?
You know, but yeah, Stevie Wonder is a big deal for me. But that Dark Side of the Moon, dude.
Very cool, very cool.
Super fire.
Time machine takes you to Vienna. You can only sit with Mozart or Beethoven. Who do you sit with?
Dude, you know, because Beethoven comes after Mozart, and Mozart told Beethoven, yo, homie, you're going to make a loud sound. I think I relate more to Beethoven. And speaking of lineage, my piano master, Jill Redding, she's part of, like, her teachers before her and her lineage before her is Beethoven lineage, which from those teachings, I'm also part of Beethoven's lineage because of those masters. So I'm going to say Beethoven, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, because those teachers that are my teachers passed on some of those skills to me. So I'm going to have to say my man's Beethoven, dude.
Composing a movie, what genre would you like to compose? What's your first one? Like, you have any pick. Horror, comedy, action, what is it?
Dude, right now, man, I'm down to do some horror movies, dude. Some sound design on some horror movies. I love action stuff too. But yeah, man, I'm open to all of it, dude. Just like a DJ, I'm an open format compositor.
That's awesome.
Know? I just go wherever I'm invited, man. Wherever my skill set is needed, wherever my energy, my vibe is needed. I'm I'm down, man.
And final one, if you had to play one last set in your native Los Angeles, where would you play?
The Hollywood Bowl, man.
Ooh.
The Hollywood Bowl. Yo, dude, that's also one of my affirmations, one of my dreams, dude, to compose and conduct my orchestra and do my DJ thing at the Hollywood Bowl, man. So you guys could all put that out there for me, hopefully sooner than later, man. Send that energy so I can write this music, guys.
I've really enjoyed this conversation because it feels like one of the most balanced conversations I've had, where it's a lot of artistic drive, a lot of knowledge acquisition and passing it on. And one thing I do feel curious about, you do talk a lot about philosophies. When you're not doing music, what are some of the things that you do to just really enhance your experience as a human on Earth?
You know, lately it's been, dude, I practice Buddhism, guys. I've been practicing Buddhism for the last 10 years. My sister introduced me to this Buddhist practice that's helped me change my life, man. It's Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Yeah, I know it. I've been to temple too.
It's changed my life, and that's something that helps me stay grounded. Tons of incredible musicians, composers, Herbie Hancock. Yo, dude, I got to DJ and open up for Herbie Hancock at the Honda Center. It was so super cool. This philosophy, it's about, unlocking our greatest and highest potential, and then also sharing it with others, so they could do the same. So that's something that's a real big deal for me, to stay grounded,
Thank you for sharing that. And that's why I do this show, is so that people can learn from me and the guests and also the listeners and share our stories and just leave something behind, legacy.
Thanks, Goose. You're the man, dude.
One of the things I love to do when I have musicians or artistic people on here, I like to get a little sample of their work.
Yo, dude. All right, here, check this out. So I'm gonna play one of my beats, and so real quick too, you could find all my music on Spotify. Well, most of it, Vfresh. You could type that in there on Spotify, Bandcamp, Vfresh. Find me on there. I'm on Twitch. Fresh Beat Flavors, my record label, my collective, where I put people on. So yeah, dude, I'm sure Goose is going to share all my music. Hopefully we'll put some of these underscores in this episode, dude.
Oh yeah.
Let me play you a couple joints and I'll scratch for you for a little bit.
Oh, hell yeah.
Today's non-stop pace, it's harder than ever to stay fresh.
Vfresh.
Thanks for having me, Goose.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
Thanks, bro. So that record right there, that was my first actual vinyl record that's available on Discogs. I don't even have one.
You don't have one?
I don't even have one of those. That one's called Working with Sound. That was my first 7-inch record. It's available in green. So if y'all find it, dude, Fresh Beat Flavor, Vfresh, Working with Sound. That track was called Agnes, and the other side of it is called Armenia. Made that with my big bro, Jojo Bagdasarian from Backside Records. the dude who mastered it and helped me press this record, his name is Peter Black. He's a legendary mastering engineer, remixer. He's pressed tons of people's records. So he pressed that one. He like most of my vinyl is that guy right there too. So I feel really lucky, dude, that the community's led me to hang out and meet all these special people. Yeah, man.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Well, I feel lucky to be here with you. One last thing. What would you say to someone listening on your take of what it takes to balance a well-examined life using creativity?
One, never giving up, right? That's the biggest thing. Is to continuously strive for excellence. And always show up, even when you're hurting. You gotta show up. You gotta show up for yourself, man. Women, ladies, all y'all, you know? Just show up for people. Kindness, you know? It's long term. Think about the long term. That's what it is.
Signal flow.
Signal flow, baby.
Oh my God. Well, thank you. I'm honored to have spent this last hour with you, and I really appreciate you. And one last plug, where can people find you? And tell us about this. Like, by the time this comes out, you're into the last week of the county fair, right?
This is true. Yo, check it out. Vfresh Music on Instagram. Fresh Beat Flavor also on Instagram. Follow both those accounts. I'm doing the silent disco. I programmed the silent disco of Next Fest LA that's playing. That's all May at the LA County Fair. Shout to LA Bellatini, Los Lidos. Appreciate you very much. I'm also going to be at Mama Shelter too. You'll see me at Gold Line on the 31st of this month. I'm going to be playing with LA Bellatini at the Gold Line. Bandcamp, Vfresh, all things Vfresh, all things Fresh Beat Flavor. Your boy is out here. And now you can find me.
Thank you for listening to Stebner Show.